So how are you, sir?
Ready?
Yep.
Sir, please, you don't call me sir. The professional weights that you carry is so high. Anyway, let's start. All right.
Hello, sir. My pleasure. Yes,
Today is a very special day because in my life, मेरी जिंदगी में, I don't think I've met a more decorated person. The number of Filmfare awards that this gentleman, fondly known as DSP, has won is really something as a testament. You know, जब लोग पूछते हैं कि what does your career stand for? You see the hits and the misses, but in a almost 20-year-long career, when you end up doing so many things right, I think I'm also really honored and privileged. Devi Prasad sir, thank you so much for joining me.
my pleasure, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so
How do
much
you
for such
feel
a
when
beautiful intro. I felt good about my
But
own
it's
self.
true. But it's true when you look back and suddenly, you know, everybody has a trophy cabinet. And do you have those evenings when you're looking at that and saying, this I deserved, this was okay, this is fantastic. You know, what are those feelings? What are those feelings?
To be very frank, sir, I never look back, and I really don't even remember, you know, when all those came. And actually, to be very frank, I used to go to all this. Of course, it's an honor to, you know, when our work is recognized and when they give a trophy. But I think it's a process that goes into the work that we actually really enjoy. You know, after that, when people are loving the work, then it's almost, you know, it's as good as that we won an award. But then I used to go to all these events because my mom and dad used to sit at home and watch it on TV, and they used to feel so happy whenever I go on stage and receive something. So there were a lot of times when I didn't go to receive it just because I was recording another song in the studio, you know. So for me, that matters more than that. But then I used to at least try and go and make sure that I was there because my dad and mom, they feel happy about it. So it's like that.
You know, but sometimes there used to be a big north-south divide. You know, I remember years back when Bahubali was being launched in Bombay. And I remember the Indian media, the journalists that are sitting there, they wanted Prabhas to introduce himself. And Prabhas was a little shocked because he had never done it before, you know. And of course, you had an entire setup. I think that one film, it's not necessarily whether it was the best film, good film, it doesn't matter. That had bridged the gap between the cultural divides that were there. And I think now what has happened is, now we understand, you know, the power of such performers in the South, and not just actors. The actors, people like yourself that make the music. I think sometimes, and me having also done cinema in Bollywood, I think the tracks are more advanced. Somehow you all get a better beat. You know, whether it's Tamil cinema, whether it's Malayalam, whether it's Telugu, it doesn't matter. Even the performances. I remember when I saw KGF also, a lot of people were not there in the theaters and slowly started building up. I never understand this, but how do you all manage to understand what the audiences want? Rarely do you all get it wrong, even in your career. You know, if you look back just purely on reading about it, 2018 hits are there, 19 of you back and forth, but you're back with mine. The question is that most of the time you get it right. So are you sitting with the audiences, or how do you know the pulse?
That's really a very good question, and you really put it in a very good way. So I should really appreciate you for that, because generally a good answer always depends on a good question, right?
Right.
So unless another, it's like demand and supply. There's no supply unless there's demand. So the thing is, actually, the process is actually very easy, but we complicate it. To understand what the people want, the process of understanding that is actually much more easier than not understanding it. We complicate it and we don't understand it. We try too much to understand it sometimes, so we don't understand it. You know, it's as simple as being one among the audiences is what we actually need. That's what I do. For me, what helps me and what has been helping me throughout all these years is my stage shows. I'm more known as a performer and an entertainer on stage. I dance, I sing, I make people dance. That has actually helped me, and that is always reflected in my music when I give it back to the people. So I enjoy being on stage, entertaining them, and I also equally enjoy being a part of the audience when I'm watching someone else perform on stage. So both are same to me. And I enjoy being in a theater, watching, I watch all the movies in theaters. I still don't have, I have my home theater, but I don't have this cube and all that stuff. even though people had asked me, because when the movie releases, it's very easy for us to just make a call to the producer and get the film and sit with family and watch. But that's not what I want to do, and that's not what films are made for. Films are made,
True.
to be watched on the huge screen, more than the size of the screen. The size of the audience is what matters while watching it. And once you become one among them, you automatically, even if you don't want to, you automatically end up learning what the audience actually wants. And then you will know it because you're also a part of the audience. Only if you stop feeling like the audience and when you start feeling like the creator is when the creativity dies. Okay. So the creativity is always alive as long as you feel like the audience, is what I feel.
But sir, I feel that the audiences are very loyal there also.
Exactly.
Like sometimes when you look at one film in Hyderabad only does as much business as pan-India audience for a Bollywood film, in just one state.
True.
It's almost like they don't, once you have achieved a certain status, then they don't say good or bad. They're just looking for experimentation, different kind of roles. They don't pass a negative verdict. Do you think this has also helped get a very positive culture between the actors and the creators, the music producers? Because over here, what's happened a lot in the North is the criticism levels have increased to such an extent, nobody's willing to experiment. So especially the big stars, they get scared. So you'll end up doing a similar kind of cinema that you will see 2009 also you're doing cinema from the South remade into Hindi. Now also you're doing that. So I do feel that audiences have been more lenient in your states where they really hero worship. Has that also helped you, or is that tougher because no matter what you do, they might just like it?
Yeah, no, so like you said, both are there. When they love you so much, then there is also this pressure of giving something that they would really love it. And also there is this privilege of doing something that you love and still they love it because they love you. That is also there.
Yeah.
But that's why sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss, again sometimes it's a hit. So I think the struggle is the same everywhere. So that's what I feel. So finally everybody would say, okay, then let's take if people who love you are your fans, I mean, let it be a star, or let it be a director or a musician, music director, whatever it is, composer. A song or a movie or anything that doesn't become a chartbuster or a blockbuster if everybody doesn't love it. It's not just enough only the loyal people love it. A creation has to be so great that even a person who hates you must love it. Only then it becomes a blockbuster. Like maybe some magic that happened in Bahubali where I didn't find anybody who didn't like it or who didn't love it. And sometimes when something turns out to be so massive, they don't have the guts to say that they don't like it also. If 1,000 people in the theater say it's beautiful, the 1,001 fellow will not say, okay, it's good. So see, even that is also again the power of the work, right? So I think that way it's always, even in Hindi cinema, I think there are a lot of experimental movies that came, and I really loved a lot of movies.
I think with OTT,
bad movies are there in every industry.
With OTT, I think the experimentation has increased.
Increased.
And to the extent where I feel that now they're ready to give the stories, the precedence over sometimes the star, which is a great thing, because essentially I'm totally like you. In fact, like I'll give you an example. Tomorrow I'm driving from Maharashtra to Gujarat to see Bell Bottom because no theater is open in Maharashtra. Because I have to experience it in a big screen.
Exactly.
And I want to feel it's just a 2.5 hour drive. So the reason I go there is because we are that loyal audience that comes every Friday to see a film. And last 2 years has just ruined our lives. So I have to ask you, while we were longing for it, y'all are in it. So how difficult has the last 1.5 years been for you to be creative? I remember speaking to some Bollywood composer. They said 1 or 2 months we were creative. Then we lost direction because we didn't know when the end was in sight. So for you, how was it?
Yeah, for me, sir, in this, I think I should say I'm really blessed because I'm kind of little crazy in these kind of things, because most of the time, my house and my studio, everything, I'm based out of Chennai, and my studio, my house, everything is here, and I hardly go out anywhere. So I enjoy it. When I'm working, I make music. When I'm not working, I make music. So it's like, it doesn't make a difference to me. And when when I want to chill, I'm listening to music. So for me, see, the thing is, that's what, once you see, I never consider myself as a music composer. I always consider myself as a music lover. Because when I'm a composer, I become a technical person. If I consider myself as a composer, right. So because I learned to play, because I know this scale or that scale or this rag or that rag, then once I try to implement all that, the work becomes very mechanical, very theoretical. But for me, since I love music, if you make a song and if I make a song and if your song is better, I fall in love with your song, not with my song. I'm that kind of a guy. So I fall in love with your song, and then.
But are you a little overcritical of your own work then, or do you allow yourself also some leeway? Because a lot of people sometimes just get so critical of their own work, especially when they reach a certain height. They don't like anything as much, you know.
Yeah, true. That's very true. That's what happens when you don't consider yourself as an audience or a music lover. That's what I said in my previous answer as well. You become critical or appreciative of your own self only when you consider yourself as a technical person. When you just love music, there is no theory at all attached to it. You just love it if it is good. What is good to you might not be good to another person, but that doesn't bother to you. So you look at one girl and say, wow, she looks beautiful, but your friend might like the other girl. It's like that. See, it's all very perspective oriented. There is no rule that the same person, I mean, everybody should end up falling in love with the same song. But when you consider yourself as the creator of this song, then you'll have this restriction of, first of all, you have to fall in love with your own song, because your mind will start telling you, if yourself, you don't love your song, how will the others like it?
Correct.
But then creating music is an emotion, right? Like feeling happy.
People make a business out of it, but you're absolutely on the right track, because that's the way it should be. Last 2 years, I think, has really helped a lot of individual music and musicians come out.
So true.
Because people have spent so much time online consumption. They're able to see independent music. We're seeing it all over the world.
True.
Do you sample a lot of music online? Like you said, you listen to music online. Do you sample a lot of unknown artists also, and then feel the urge to say, I should create something with this person, collaborations here and there? Are you that kind of music director as well?
Yeah, that's a good question again, because what happened is the lockdown has actually given a lot of time to all of us to, first of all, think about our own lives.
Yeah.
So first I started thinking about my own life. Like you said, by God's grace, I became a music at a very, very early age. I did my first film when I was 16 or something. Then ever since I've been creating music, and by God's grace, everything, even till today, it's like all blockbusters and chartbusters happening. So till Sitimar and till now Pushpa and all that. I'm really thankful to God, my gurus, my parents, and of course all the audiences who are loving it. But then, whatever you do in life, there are a lot of things that are yet to be done, right? In whichever point, even for Michael Jackson, there will be things that have to be done. So this lockdown gave me a time to make a list of what all I have to do. So there are a lot of things. It might be as simple as, oh God, I wanted to drive from here to Goa, or I wanted to do this, I never did this. It might be as simple as that. So I made a list. Then what, as humans, what we think is, when we start making a list, first we start making a list knowingly or unknowingly about our own self, right? That's how we are all doing it. But then at one point, we have to physically start thinking, okay, enough of myself now. Like, what are the other things that I wanted to do? Then there was one big thing that popped out of my head, on which I was working for the past 5-6 years. That is getting a lot of street musicians to limelight. Okay.
Wow.
Because whenever I used to travel abroad, I used to watch in Europe and USA and Times Square. I don't know if you see a lot of amazing talents.
Yeah, in the subways also, in London also, subways, they're playing guitars.
True. So what happens is, as an artist, first it excites me, then it also frightens me. It also scares me. Excitement is because of the music. Then why does it frighten me? Is because, oh my God, this fellow is so wonderful, but he's playing on the road. And back in our country, God has given me the position of a star, which means I should be more careful about. I should be thankful and also more careful about it. See, this is what we should learn. Okay, so then I started roaming around a lot of places. Then I started looking for musicians who are like this in our own country. So then I met an old, an aged person, like about 60, 70 years old, who was playing on the Elliott's Beach in Chennai. Then I found one guy in Marina. Then I started doing research on all these guys. Then I started a YouTube channel. So because I thought, okay, now it's my duty to put them all, give them a chance.
Yes.
But then be like single-handedly, it was not possible to do all that, because then again we're busy with our own work and music and all that. I mean, movies and all that. So during this lockdown, that was the thing that came on top of my whole list. So then I put everything else. So then I put this. Okay, this is my goal now. And now in tie-up with Z Tamil, Then we created a show called Rockstar, Star to Rockstar. And now we sourced of all this, then we started telecasting only because of the lockdown. I never wanted to come to TV.
Wow.
So a lot of channels asked me. Then I agreed to do this show only to bring these musicians to limelight. And then this happened, and Kamal Hassan sir launched the promo, and the guest on the first episode when I launched, and even he was like emotionally moved. And he said it's a big, so we almost did some 12 episodes till now, and 12 musicians we introduced, like different instruments. Everybody was emotional. They started crying. We thought we'll never see the stage in our whole life.
Of course, yes.
So that came across, and today actually I happened to meet Kamal Hassan sir for something else, and we had showed him clips of these, and he became very emotional. And he said, if you all were not here, I would have cried watching this. Is the best compliment that he gave us. So,
but that's wonderful, sir, because so many people are out there, and I think you feel you have the talent. No, you feel that nobody's watching you, and even so many creators online.
Yeah,
they'll keep making videos. You'll get some 500 views, some 1,000 views, and you suddenly feel, why is that person getting 1 million views? You'll always compare yourself, and I think this is a brilliant opportunity that you get, because again, it's very subjective. Who is a good singer? Anybody can have a different kind of taste.
True.
And which is what brings me sometimes, when you do this massive production like a Pushpa, like the world is going to watch it, and international audiences. Somewhere, do you commercialize your thought process a little bit to understand that the stardom that is involved with a film like this? So I want to be pure to my musical soul, but it must be also matching the scale, and to provide the big artists also the opportunity to showcase. Maybe Allu's not dancing in this, or like the way it is, but definitely there will be a theme where his diehard fans will be watching. So do you have to compromise there sometimes?
No, sir, no compromise. Like I said, that's what. All these answers were answered in my first question itself. Being a part of the audience, then you automatically all this will flow. That's what I'm saying. Here it is nothing to prove about your own talent or what you know. It's about what the film demands and what the subject wants. And I'll tell you, being a film composer, I'll tell you one easy technique of what. The director comes and narrates the story to the star, the hero. Then he narrates it to the music director, he narrates it to the editor, cinematographer, whatever. So what happens is technically, including the hero and all the techniques, they're already blended into the story, right? Actually, the story becomes a primary drive for everyone. So automatically, we're all on one page, right? Then we create music for the story. Then the audience part of you will automatically tell you what the people in the audience will expect from this movie and from this hero and from this director. So automatically all these elements will be added in the processes. So as you get experience now, you don't need to book a room and sit separate and think about all this. It just falls in place.
Do you ever feel pressure sometimes, because audiences can be, like I said, they may be sweeter in Tamil, Telugu and Malayalam cinema, but do you get scared? Like, what if somebody's not liked it? Yes, all of us felt it. But agar Nishana chuk gaya, it didn't go there, then does it scare you still? You get the nervous energy on Fridays?
Yeah, the best part is think that nobody will like it while creating itself. Why should they like it? I'm not trying to impress anyone. So no tension at all. Correct. So when you think nobody is going to like it, even if one person likes it, you're happy.
It's very easy to actually think about that, but very tough sometimes, because a certain level of insecurity is there in every artist. When you're going on stage, there's that little energy that is there also. Yeah. And especially now that, maybe we started to understand the power of cinema a little bit more, not being able to access it so easily. So you want that big bang to come and, all that. Have you never second guessed yourself?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Have you never second guessed yourself on, the kind of work that you're doing? Sometimes you say, like, even for a big film like this, you make the process very simple. But otherwise, when you're speaking about it, you say, "Arey, have I made a mistake? Shit, should I, just redo everything?" Do you have those kind of moments?
No, sir. Basically, all this depends on your own personality and how you look at life and people and all that shit. So sorry, but all the crazy stuff, right? Because what happens is when you believe in yourself and when you believe in a process, and when you believe, I believe in the fact that how much ever whatever wonderful work you create, there'll be 50% appreciation and 50% criticism.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
So let us think there are two options we are doing for the same job. We are doing two options. You do option A and option B. Option A, these 50 people will like, these 50 people will not like. Option B, these 50 people will like, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So what I feel is when you confidently do something, now even a wrong becomes right. Okay, because there is no definition to right and wrong. And especially in movies, how many nonsense films became blockbusters and how many extraordinary things flops. So, but the greatness of a film is that the work and the hope and the trust involved in every film, whether it's a blockbuster or a super flop, is the same.
Correct.
So the credit of a blockbuster doesn't belong to anybody, and the criticism of a flop also doesn't belong to anybody. You might have good work, and you might get a good name out of a super flop film, and you might get a nonsense. You might not get any name at all out of a blockbuster film also. So these are all like probability, So once you understand this,
now, but now that you made music for such a big film, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a blockbuster, part A, part B, both of it. Do you think that you've done justice with Pushpa?
Yeah, see, whether even before release itself, I always think that I've done justice. Because without that, you can't move ahead. And for me, big and small doesn't matter, sir. Right from the beginning, I've been doing all big films only. And for example, how do you say which is big, which is small? Nothing is big, nothing
That's
is
true. That's true.
For me, it always, even if I do a movie with a new, some debut or some small film, if the film really drives me, that is a film, that's it. So it's actually not right in any at any point to say, a big film or a small film. Big film or a small
when
film.
I say big, I just mean purely from sometimes the pressure of coming out in 3,000, 5,000, 4,000 screens. So then what happens is you just end up getting a lot more actually reactions. And a lot of people will use social media. I know that, the tracks and the teasers that you put out on your social media, the fantastic comments that are there, you get like these lakh likes. So do you gauge the reaction based on your social media also? So I put out the teaser for Pushpa, good people loving it. But a lot of the times on social media, they're just doing it for retweets. They're just doing it so that, you'll like them. So how do you gauge if the audience is liking it?
That's why I said that, especially at this given times, the best thing is to do your work and forget about the rest. Whether it's appreciation or criticism, it's like you can't take it too serious. So because it's all perspective oriented, like I said, just because one person says that I'm number one, I don't consider myself number one. And somebody says, "Arey, you don't know to do music," also means that it doesn't mean that I don't know to do it, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's all how serious do you take these things? It's very important not to take anything so serious. That's very important. You get carried away otherwise. So see, I'll tell you.
I think this is
but I get.
Please,
I get a question. I'll tell you one beautiful example for all this. The biggest blessing for me is that I don't get tensed at all. I don't get worried. I don't get pressurized. That is my biggest strength. Not music, not talent, nothing. Okay, my biggest strength is, first of all, I'm very chill and cool. Okay, tomorrow is a release. Suddenly they'll say, how many times I faced, hey, sir, tomorrow we just released that. We just decided to release it tomorrow. Tonight we need the song. Okay. What will you do? Oh my God. Whether you say, oh my God, no, how can, even if you say that, or even if you say, okay, finally only you'll have to do the work. You better be cool and have a coffee or a green tea, or then just think, okay, now how to plan this. When a cooler brain always gives a better guidance, right? So what happened? The same combination, Mr. Sukumar sir and Allu Arjun and I, we started off with Arya, right? That was one of the biggest blockbusters for all of us. So that's why we three of us have very, a lot of mutual respect, liking, and adoration for each of us. And Allu Arjun and I, we have all been, childhood friends right from Chennai, our childhood days.
So who's the better dancer? Who's the better dancer between you and Allu?
He's an amazing dancer. I just keep dancing for fun.
Can you hear me, sir?
What?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir? So The thing is, when we started Arya, we did this song called Ante Amalapuram, Ante Ahapuram.
Yeah.
I just wanted a mass song. I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, what to do. So suddenly I came up with this concept like so I put Ante Amalapuram. And by the way, do you know the meaning of Amalapuram?
No.
That's a place where I was born.
Really? Wow.
My mom's town, my grandparents' town. That's where I was born. There's no connection with the movie. I just like the Ante Amalapuram, Ante Ahapuram, and everybody loved it. And that later T-Series wanted me to do that for a Hindi film, and we did it. And they still didn't want to change that Ante Amalapuram because they loved the word. We just left it. Even Hindi became a hit. Okay, so even before it came in Hindi, the Telugu version itself went viral. Even people.
Yeah.
They didn't even know from
Everywhere.
the film what they didn't know. But I used to get calls from friends, from clubs saying, "Hey, your song is playing." But by then we were all bachas. We just started off our career. We didn't even know what the hell was happening in Bombay and all that. Nobody knew which movie, nothing. Who did this song? Who's the music? Nothing they knew. But the song was viral all around the world. Okay, that happened. So that was like, wow, super. So then that was from Arya. Then we were doing Arya 2. So imagine for a sequel, always there is pressure, right?
Of course.
There'll be always pressure. So everybody was in pressure. The director was in pressure, producer was in pressure. Then Allu Arjun came to me and said, Devi, it's not fair on our part to ask you to create something more extraordinary than Ante Amalapuram, because it's Arya 2. They'll definitely expect something like Ante Amalapuram. But then he was very sweet actually. He said we should not ask, put too much of pressure and all that. Some normal song you give also okay for me. So they just want.
Okay.
So then I looked at everyone and said, listen, why is everyone getting so tense? When Arya happened, did you all come and tell me what to do? Nobody was tense. We're all cool. Because that time we were just starting, so nobody was bothered. And I was just sleeping in my room thinking what to do. And suddenly I came in with then it worked. Let me work the same way. For you, it might be Arya 2. But for me, I have to make another song. That's it. Only when I think okay. They didn't understand what I said. They said, okay, just leave him. And they all went. Then I said, you know what I said? Okay. Ante Amalapuram, that was a screaming song. Now what to do? Go, let me make the opposite. Ringa. I did. Then I called them, they went mad. And you know what magic Ringa did? I hope you heard.
Of course.
Right? And then Salman Bhai called and said, man, this song is amazing. I want. Then we made it Dinka Chika Dink. Then that shook the whole world. So if I had worked under pressure, thinking that, oh my God, it is Arya 2, now I have to win this big film, that film. So what happens is my brain will only start thinking technically. Music is not about, technicality. It's about your soul. It's about your feeling. It's about what flows from your mind and your body. Any song that can make me dance, I truly believe that will also make the audience dance, because I'm an audience always.
Correct.
So had I applied the thing that, okay, I was a music director of Arya 1, now Arya 2, now I have to rock the charts. I didn't think of all that. I just sang what came out of my thing. But I knew that it was going to do something.
Have you done the same for Pushpa now also? Just whatever.
For any film. That's the only way. That's the only way I know. I don't know any other way to work.
It's working, sir. Don't change this formula. This blueprint is perfect. This blueprint is absolutely perfect.
Thank you so much. So sweet of me. I can't change also because I'm not that talented to know another way to change. I know only one way.
No, a lot of people, you're in that way like Kareena Kapoor. Kareena Kapoor used to come on set and say, I can't do any rehearsals. What I do first time, that is my way of acting. If you ask me to do it 3 times, I'll do 3 different scenes. So it works very well. Some people are rehearsed, some are not. You seem to be in the second category.
True, sir. Because what happens is, see, Sukumar sir and I, whatever movies we did, everything was like blockbuster music so far. Okay, because he comes with a very brilliant idea of the movie itself. He just narrates the story and said, do whatever you want, and he just leaves. So when someone has so much of trust on you, that itself fills you with a lot of responsibility. And out of the responsibility, you won't go wrong. Then he's some person who is always open to experimentation. So I always love to experiment. So this Pushpa song, whatever you heard, including Mr. Vishal Dadlani, when he sang, he said, man, this is crazy, man. This sound is something different. And nobody has ever made me sing like this and all that he said. In fact, in all the languages, that's the expression that we received. And even the rest of the album also, I kept it very rustic. Allu Arjun called me and said, Devi, I know that you will definitely make a chartbuster when it comes to Suku and me, our combination, but this has surprised me. This is something else. Then I did a song which was not there in the situation at all. After I heard the story, during the lockdown, I just sat and I thought, okay, this movie should have a theme. So I made it and I sent it to Sukumar sir and Allu. Both of them called and they were like almost in tears. My director said, I'm in tears because there are music directors who don't even give the tune when I ask them, you bloody, there is no situation. Then also you sent a tune. and Allu called and told me that you understood the movie so well that you created a song, you created a theme for the entire film. Now we can shoot it like this. So keeping the song, they were planning how to shoot it and all. So see, this happens only when there is that mutual, like I said, respect for each
also
other.
It's almost like y'all are brothers. Y'all have been brothers for so long.
Exactly.
So you don't need to really, the responsibility is equally shared amongst everybody, so it works.
Truly. And Sukumar sir also, the way he creates a scene and any movie of him, you just watch and it's totally out of the box. So when the writer, the director is craving to be so different and creating something so wonderful, automatically everything that follows will be like brilliant. So
I can't actually wait for this because like I said, I'm a big theater person. I love big stars. I love to watch people like Allu dance and perform. And I love every single chart busting. I'm a horrible dancer, but still I like to move to it. It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of it.
That's more important. Moving is important. Moving is more important.
Yeah. It's only when you look at Allu, you had a complex. Otherwise, you feel fine. When you look there and then you see back, then you get the complex.
So I think, see, when you listen to some music and when you get inspired and whatever your body does is dance, is what I feel. So everybody has their own charm and own. Sometimes the tough ones are amazing to watch, but sometimes the easy ones are ones that go viral. So everything has its own charm. Everything has its own charm. So I'm a huge devotee of Michael Jackson. So look there.
Oh wow!
So my entire studio is
Thriller was, and even Smooth Criminal, the way they moved in Smooth Criminal, I tried that for so long and has to fall on my face every time.
Exactly. So what I'm trying to say, in all the rooms of my studio, you find Michael Jackson everywhere. In my room, in my bedroom, behind my bed. Does anyone have Michael Jackson? I wake up with this music. I run on the treadmill with this. I grew up with this music. So what I'm saying is, the way that man danced, he rediscovered dance and he reinvented it and he invented so many things. And what he taught us is, dance is not about how tough or how easy it is. It is how charming is it, and how beautiful is it when you do it. So when he actually calculate or count all the moves that Michael Jackson has done so far. There might be some 10 or 15 moves, but he created moves that nobody else can, go even near. Or he created moves that everybody can do. Like take the hip movement, like when he does, kids can do. See, that's the magic. He either does something that everybody can do, or he either does something that nobody can do other than him. Like when you take the moonwalk, only he can do. Maybe if you practice, he can do. But then when he does that turn, right, and then falls the twirl, and then he falls on his knees. He's even human. So he either makes us feel like that, or suddenly he just takes the head. That we all can do. That man knows the magic. So that's what I'm saying. We have to respect dance, whether it is unimitable or it is imitable. Both the ways it is beautiful. So like when Salman did, that's why I like that. Hey, dinka chika, dinka chika.
That dinka chika was simple. Yeah.
Simple. That's why the whole nation was growing to it. The whole world was growing to it. When I went to, when we performed in US and Australia, as soon as I saw dinka chika, the whole audience will get up, put their hands in the pocket, and dinka chika, dinka chika. Because everybody wants to dance, but everybody can't do the tough steps, right? So we need the easy steps.
Correct.
That's why I think that's what even we were discussing with Allu also. That's when he did this in Pushpa, right? We were discussing about this. When he showed that, I got so excited because now that everybody can do.
Yeah.
So the rest of this stuff is to amaze us, but the little of this stuff is for everybody to imitate and do. Only then it catches.
So this is what everybody will follow, and this is why the virality actually happens.
Exactly.
That's the whole point.
Exactly. So true. Even in CTMR recently, when Salman Bhai did, I really loved that covering his thing. Easy things always. See, they always, great things in life are always easy.
You started this interview with that only, sir. How making music is so simple. And I think this is a beautiful note to end it on also. I think it's been such a pleasure to chat with you because so many stars have so many complexities about the baggage that they're supposed to carry. You don't look like you carry any baggage, and that's the most wonderful part. So really was a pleasure to interview you.
That's what is saving me actually out of all this pressure and deadlines and all this. If you start feeling that, see, you can know that because that becomes your duty to finish it on time. So you need to know the deadline, but you should not feel the deadline. There are two different things. Knowing and feeling are two different things. So like that, I only know it. I don't feel it.
Thank you so much for joining me, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for all the support. Thanks to the entire media. So we are all again releasing the second single, third single and all that. Please do give the same kind of love. And more than that, after CTMR, this one, CTMR has actually taken me one more step higher in the Bollywood side. Yeah. So thanks to all the Bollywood people, they're always loving it. Whenever I did Aunt Amlapuram or Daddy Mummy Hena Gar Pe or Dinka Chika, CTMR, all my songs, they always love it. So thanks to all of them. And very soon I'm also coming up with my singles. So after CTMR, all the audio labels are asking me to make singles and all that. So we're going to have some collaborations and some very entertaining, very different singles with music videos and all that. I think we definitely want the same kind of love and support even for that. We need it more when it is a single, more than the film.
I think it will just follow, like, how the support has followed till now. It will continue to follow, sir. So thank you, sir. I don't think there's ever going to be a problem with that. Thank you so much, sir.
So sweet of you. Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye, sir.